If you've ever hustled daily and you've worked on your website and you thought it was going to do great, and then all of a sudden you didn't see the traffic coming and you got really disappointed, or you worked on a course and you spent months working on this course, and then all of a sudden you thought you're going to get all these sales, and you looked and barely anybody came to visit the course or purchase the course. These things happen all the time. People make great products, they make great services, and they think they're going to get great results. And you know what? Your service or product may be wonderful, but maybe it's just not being marketed right. And so, if this resonates with you, tap follow and leave a 5-star review and share it with your colleagues, because I'm going to introduce to you Beverly, and she is an amazing individual. Beverly Cornell owns a marketing and branding company, and Beverly is the founder of Wickedly Branded, and it is often known as the fairy godmother of brand clarity. With over 25 years of experience helping hundreds of consultants, coaches, and creatives, she's mastered how to cut through the noise, awaken the brand magic, and attract customers and clients who finally get it. Beverly, I love how you talk about business and how you talk about branding. You have a totally different way of looking at things, and you really, pull out the things that matter when it comes to branding, and to catch people's eyes and to really bring out their personality in their product and make it unique so people actually draw to it. Now, let us know a little about yourself and what you do. And I know today you wanted to talk about branding versus marketing. So let's learn a little about that too and what the difference between the two is.
Well, I was kind of the cobbler's kid that had no shoes. I was doing marketing for everyone else. And what I realized in the process is that I needed to do marketing for myself. And what
Mhm.
I decided was I was going to have Louis Vuittons instead of no shoes. I was going to have the Louis Vuittons of marketing and be the best case study and do all the things that I tell my clients to do all the time and are successful for my clients. But I was going to do them for myself. And when I ended up finding that I didn't actually want Louis Vuittons, I actually wanted iridescent ballet flats. Those were me. That's what felt like home. I used the analogy of the ruby red slippers in the Wizard of Oz. I mean, we're wickedly branded. We have to talk about Wizard of Oz and Wicked. But the idea is that the thing that feels the best for you, the place that feels like home for you, is the brand you want to build. It's not somebody else's brand. It's not some other competitor's messaging. It is the brand that feels like you. And you have always had it inside of you. You just need a little help bringing it to life. And that's what we like to do when we awaken your magic, is we help you find those golden threads and bring those out in a way that shows that you are unique in your positioning, how you really help somebody, and who you can help the best. And we really focus hard on that with our, like you said earlier, we work with coaches, consultants, and creatives. Those are our absolutely favorite people. And we really help them magnify the impact that they have on the world, because we've been able to get their messaging, their positioning, and their brand a little bit more magical in the world of lots of brands and noises.
I feel like, that's one of the biggest mistakes I see all the time is that so many people try to copy off of everybody else that's doing really well. They don't dig deep into their own personality of who they are and what they could bring out to society and how they could help society. Instead, they are looking at who the big entrepreneurs are, who the big business people are, and then they start copying them and they start doing what they're doing. And it's not them, and it just sounds like a replica. It sounds, and people catch on to this, and then when they meet you or they talk to you, you're not the person that you made yourself to be. So then people totally get turned off and they just take a step away, and then you don't get the business. And the same thing with when you make products and services. You're talking one way and you're given this image of another, and people don't resonate with that. It actually confuses people, and they don't know who your audience is, who you are, what you really can do. And so they take a step back and say, hey, you know what, I'm kind of confused. You're giving me different signals, and I don't think I can do business with you.
When you confuse, you lose. Absolutely. We say it all the time to our clients. If it's not simple and clear and easy to understand, if your third grade neighbor cannot understand what you do, then you're probably losing opportunities right now if it's not clear. I know that all the clients that have ever come to work with us have worked really hard in their business and on their marketing. They've put themselves out there. They've spent late nights in Canva making posts. They probably had their nephew or their cousin build their website for them, or they've cobbled together a bio that they saw somebody else kind of do. And they kind of, I call that the competition trap, where you like look at everybody else and try to make it your own. And
Yeah.
honestly, it probably worked at first. It does. It might get one or two hits or something is a little bit better. You might have even gotten a few clients from that. Some quick wins in the beginning that made you think, yeah, I'm on my way. It's a little bit of a false excitement, but
Yeah.
then momentum stalls. Your
Yeah.
posts stop landing, people stop answering the calls, whatever it is, and your website all of a sudden feels a little outdated because it doesn't feel like you. And your
Yeah.
clients probably are ghosting you, either thinking maybe you're too expensive, or I'm not the right client for them, or maybe that service isn't going to really solve my problem. But then that turns into some doubt within yourself, and they start to wonder, what's wrong with me? And what I
Hmm.
want to tell the listeners today, is that there's nothing wrong with you. What is
Yeah.
wrong is your foundation. You've been building on tactics without clarity. You mentioned it earlier, and
Yeah.
tactics without clarity or really good branding can only take you so far.
Right.
So the first thing I always ask our clients to do is to journal. We ask our clients to do a lot of activations. Is what is
Hmm.
one thing that you've tried in your marketing that worked for a while but doesn't anymore?
Right.
And then don't do it anymore. Stop.
Right.
Please stop. It's the definition of insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Don't do it. It's not what's going to help you. So we really want to talk about the difference between branding and marketing and why it's so important. The simplest way that I can explain it to people is that branding is who you are
Hmm.
and marketing is how you share it.
Right.
So branding is the heartbeat and soul of your business. It's your values, it's your voice, it's your positioning, it's your brand promise. It is what makes you you. It's the thing that started the business. Why did you start the business? What was the reason? Where was the passion that you started your business from?
Yeah.
And then the marketing is the megaphone. It amplifies whatever is there. So if your brand is unclear, guess what? Your marketing just amplifies that confusion that you talked about earlier.
Exactly.
I once was helping a client that I worked with. She had spent, oh my gosh, like, I don't know, thousands of dollars on Facebook ads, Stacy. And she was convinced that ads was the missing piece. Like, she had all these other pieces, and she probably did. I mean, I know she did. She had a website, she had all these other different things. But when people landed on her site from the ad, they had no idea what she actually did or why it mattered to them.
Yeah.
She wasn't lacking marketing. She was lacking the clarity to connect with her ideal customer. And once
Right.
we her brand story, her ads started to convert.
Right.
So branding gives you the direction and marketing gives you the volume of the direction. And you need direction before you turn up the volume.
Oh, I agree.
One thing that people can do right now is to go to your Instagram bio or your homepage on your website and ask yourself, would my dream client, the people that you love to work with, don't like say this to everyone, but the people, your most favorite clients, would they know who I help and what I do in 10 seconds or less? If not, this is your first branding gap.
Yeah.
So from all of this experience, from wanting to have the Louis Vuittons and getting my own iridescent slippers and creating a brand for ourselves, and working with hundreds of entrepreneurs over 25 years. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this was 25 years. What I've created is called what I call the brand magic method.
Yeah.
And it's because branding isn't just something you check off of a list of to-dos. It's not a one-time ask. It is a process. And we call the process a journey or a path, and it has 4 different stages. The first stage is your initial spark. This is where you awaken your brand magic. This is why you're doing what you're doing. This is everything that led up to opening your business and why you opened your business. It's really getting super clear on who you are, who you serve, the transformation that you offer, and why it matters to them.
Mhm.
super important. So we call that the spark. And then once you have that, then you want to ignite the spark. Think of a flame, right? You're like igniting the flame. You have a little spark. Now you're going to feed it and like ignite the flame. And this is where you activate it. So you've awakened the magic. Now let's activate it. We create messaging, we create visuals, we create your website, we create systems that bring your brand to life. The spark is the possibilities. The
Yes.
ignite is when it comes to life.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have the blaze, which is where you amplify it. So now you have the brand, you have everything in place. Now you turn up the freaking volume.
Right.
Marketing has focus, you have confidence because you know your messaging and it's exactly who you are. It's authentic. So you're willing to show up as you for the very first time and be visible.
Yeah.
And then you're able to be consistent and grow without burning out because now it's so easy and simple to market because you're so clear on who you are. It
Mm-hmm.
becomes second nature to you. And then the last step, which is like the piece de resistance, is the boosting part of it. This is where you take all your wisdom and your skill set and your systems and you create repeatable actions to help clone yourself. This is where you can start to scale and automate your business and marketing. But the thing that we keep seeing all the time, Stacey, is most entrepreneurs skip the spark and they jump right to the blaze.
Yes.
And then they're overwhelmed. So ask yourself, the listeners who are listening right now, ask yourself, am I in my spark phase, my ignite phase, my blaze phase, or my boost phase? And am I skipping ahead without the foundation? So the thing that so many people, this is like, I mean, every single time, this is what happens, every single time. In the beginning, the energy of the new business carries you because you're excited and you're passionate and you say yes to everything. And the energy is simply magnetic in the world because you're so freaking excited and it's attracting all these people because you're so excited.
Yes.
Even though your brand is not clear yet, your mere excitement is
Because you love
attracting.
it.
But what happens is over time, you get busy and you
Mm-hmm.
start juggling all the things as an entrepreneur because we wear a lot of different hats and your energy starts to really fade. And the market gets louder.
Yeah.
Because there's more competition, there's more different tactics and tools, and all of a sudden, then there's dozens of people doing what you do, and they're all saying the same thing. And without you really doing the work at the spark level, without you really taking the time to get super clear on who you are, who you serve, and the transformation you offer, and why it should matter to them, you will simply get lost in the chatter that's out there. And it's really, really noisy right now.
Yes.
People are everywhere kind of screaming into the void that is social media about their stuff. And it's not the person who screams the loudest, it's the person who
Yeah.
screams the most unique.
Mm-hmm.
So that
Yeah.
early, I call it the hustle, the early hustle, that is the spark energy you want. You're excited
Mm-hmm.
and passionate and willing to try anything, but without clarity, the spark dims.
Yes.
So that's why our brand spark experience is so powerful because it gives you the clarity and this really strong foundation that the spark energy actually lasts and grows instead of burning out really quick and you not feeling burnt out.
Yes.
So it's very a good metaphor of like burning out because it does. You burn out with all the things if you're not super clear. It simplifies, it's liberating when you're really clear on things. It changes everything for you. There was a client, I think she was a wellness coach. I can't remember. I think she was a wellness coach, but she was like madly posting on Facebook every day, like 3 times a day. And at first she was doing pretty well. She was getting discovery calls and different things, but then all of a sudden, like nothing, crickets. She just hit a wall and her audience tuned out.
Mm-hmm.
And so what she felt like her message just stopped landing. And probably did because everybody else was kind of saying the same thing. So her initial core connections, then so dramatic when it does this. They supported her, but then there wasn't another people to support her after that.
Right.
So we rebuilt her brand clarity. We focused on who she helped, her specific unique approach to health and wellness, and her message. And then we got really, really clear on her niche and who she served that would be the most profitable for her. Not that she couldn't do other work outside of that niche, as like
Right.
passion projects and things like that. Like, for example, we serve female founders who are consultants, coaches, and creatives, but we have an NFL pro football player as a client. So it's not like you
Right.
can't do other things, but you can be
Yeah.
really specific about who you want to work with. And once we did that, once we got really clear, within just a couple of weeks, her
Hmm.
engagement doubled. She wasn't posting more, she just posted clearer.
Yes.
That is the power of good branding.
That is so true. That is so true. I remember, I'll even give you an example. Like it was around Christmas time last year, and I went on my social media and I thought, oh, how nice. I found this really nice song for Hallelujah for Christmas time. So I posted it on my YouTube. It threw the entire algorithm off, where the video did so well because everyone wanted to hear the song Hallelujah around Christmas time, that instead of being instead of doing what I do, and being in personal development and coaching and that whole group of, individuals that I focus on, it focused on music and it turned me into a music video. And then all of a sudden my ratings dropped and I went to, because they were showing all my videos to music, but music didn't want to hear, he didn't want to learn about personal development or business or branding or any of that stuff. It wanted to hear music, So by posting too much or posting the wrong things, you don't even have to do it a lot. It could throw off the whole algorithm on any situation and platform.
Confusing. It's confusing the algorithm, it's confusing the clients, it's confusing the sales. It just simply confuses. And we don't
Yeah.
have time today to unconfuse them.
Yeah.
You've already lost them then. You're done.
Hmm.
You're done. And I don't know about you, Stacey, but I mean, I've burned out, and I talk a lot about that in a lot of my marketing when I talk about founders, female founders who are doing everything and the messy
Yeah.
middle of life. And I've built my business through deployments with my active duty Army husband, through illness, through fostering children, all kinds of things. But when I talk about the things that actually matter, that's when I get the connections. And when
Yeah.
I was just kind of throwing spaghetti on the wall, I wasn't getting that real connection. And I would rather
Mhm.
have 200 strongly connected people in my network than 5,000 people who could care less.
Exactly.
So I
Exactly.
would rather have that specific, more engaged. And my readership on my emails is really high. My click-through rate is almost 10% of my newsletters. Like, it is a significant amount of engagement for the people who I work with. And that is what I want. I don't want everyone. I
Yeah.
don't really want to waste my time. That's
Exactly.
how you burn out. And if you're relying on this hustle energy, I would rather you have a brand that can carry you when you're tired, when you need a break,
Exactly.
or when you're sick.
Yes, I agree.
So if you are relying on your hustle and your energy to do the thing and you're not relying on the brand to carry
Mhm.
you, then you know it's time to relook at your brand and your foundation. Because
Yeah.
last week I was sick with COVID and my brand was fine.
Hmm.
So I had content built out already. Like, I'd done all the work because I knew what to do. It was simple and easy,
Yes.
super easy. I think I know the thing that people forget is branding isn't just business. And this
Hmm.
is, I say it all the time. People think it's like a checkbox. I gotta like get a logo. Check, I have a logo. But your
Yeah.
brand is your soul.
Yes.
I've seen it so many times when clients come to me, they're really timid and unsure and they're discounting their rates and they're overworking themselves. But when we actually do the work for the foundation, they just show up different, Stacey. Like,
Hmm.
they are excited. Their voice is steadier.
Yeah.
They're like more grounded in who they are. their shoulders like literally relax. I watch it happen in the
Mm-hmm.
call. Like they go from to like, oh, okay, okay, I got this. This is totally
Yeah.
possible.
Mm-hmm.
And they stop over explaining themselves and their value,
Yeah.
and they just start to own it. It is what
Mm-hmm.
it is. And that is when that spark starts to really ignite,
Yeah.
and where you actually feel like yourself for the first time. Everybody's
Mhm.
talked about authenticity. It's like the overdone word of like the last couple of years. Be authentic, be yourself. But it's so true. If you are not yourself, it's a facade, it's performative, it's not you, and people can see right through it.
Exactly.
So when you don't worry about like who you are and what you stand for, and you don't cringe every time you send someone to your website because you're like, well, I'm working on it, it's a work in progress,
Yeah.
and you're actually proud, it's a totally different vibe.
Oh, 100%.
And that vibe
100%.
attracts people and attracts business and attracts wealth.
Yes.
Not the, well, I'm working on my website vibe,
Hmm.
or I'm still trying to figure this out vibe.
Yes.
It you ooze that energy, and it's so apparent to everyone else that that's the energy you're giving off.
Yes.
And then when you're in the blaze side of things, when you've actually like stoked the fire, you have all the things that are working together, your marketing feels like momentum instead of burnout.
Right.
You're not trying to be everywhere. You're in the right places, in the right rooms, with the right people, with the right message. And the result of that is your authority begins to grow like wildfire.
Yes.
We talk a lot about confidence, Stacy,
Hmm.
and with my clients, I really have to talk about confidence. It's something that is a real issue, specifically, I think, for females in this world for a
Hmm.
lots of reasons. I know men have imposter syndrome as well. I mean, it's just a real thing.
Yes.
But
Hmm.
it really is a byproduct of clarity. When you
Yeah.
know who you are and what you stand for, you simply stop chasing things that do not serve you, and you stop
Right.
apologizing, and you stop trying to be everything to everyone.
Exactly.
All things that are exhausting.
Yes.
You say no to the wrong clients without guilt. You
Hmm.
raise your prices. You raise your prices without even flinching because you know your value for the first time.
Exactly.
You
Hmm.
finally feel proud to send people to that website or to your Instagram page or to whatever, give them that flyer, your business card, or whatever it is. And
Yes.
people, this is the best part. The people begin to introduce you as the person you need to know for that thing that you want to be known for.
Yes.
Beverly is the person you want to talk to if you need foundational branding.
Hmm.
People start to know you because your brand promise shows up again and again and again, consistently, persistently, and you know the value you have. And that's when
Yes.
your referrals grow, and that's when authority momentum kicks in, and it all comes back to that initial alignment of who you are and how clear you are. If you're
Yeah.
not clear, how can someone refer you?
Hmm.
It's just such a simple thing, but people overcomplicate it or forget it. They
Yeah.
simply forget it or think that their cousin or their nephew can build that website, or maybe they can just put up something on Shopify, and but they're not understanding how the messaging is important, how the calls to actions are important, how you
Yeah.
position your services is important, how you talk about your credentials is important, how you show social proof and testimonials is important. They don't understand
Hmm.
how that works together, the psychology of that.
Yes.
I just think, and a lot of times what I see is they talk about themselves and not what their who their client is and how they solve their problems.
Right.
You're building the site for yourself and not for your clients.
Yes.
So another activation I would say to the listeners is, if my brand fully reflected who I am,
Hmm.
how would you show up differently tomorrow?
Right. I like that a lot. A lot of times I see people creating, they pay people to create a brand. They don't have the discussion that we just had, that you brought up all these different steps. and they create what they think is going to make you $1 million. They promise you all this money, and it's not you. It's not who you represent. It's not it. And so, how can you sell something that's not you? How could you sell something that you have no passion for because you just let someone else create what their passion is and not your passion? So then
That's
you're selling this stuff that you don't really believe in, but they're selling, oh yeah, it's going to sell this and it's going to sell that and it's going to do this. And then you're not feeling it inside. So then that lack of confidence comes right there because, you're not being you. You're not being you.
these myths and the work that you've done in the past seems really logical. We've convinced ourselves it's very logical. So I want you to listen really closely here, because if you recognize yourself in any one of these, it's not your fault. It really is not. It just means that you've been sold a shortcut that can't take you where you want to go, really. So this I feel like is really important. I love the question and I want to talk about it, but here. So this one comes up all the time. People think if I just have a great logo, I'll have a strong brand. Logo is the most visible piece of your branding for sure. It's fun, it's quick, it feels like progress in a really big way. Like I have this logo, but what I see is the problem a logo is just a symbol, but your brand is the meaning people attach to that symbol.
Yes.
So I once worked with a business owner who spent, oh my gosh, I think she like redesigned her logo like 5 times, Stacy. Each time she thought, this is it, this is the magic bullet.
Yeah.
But absolutely nothing changed in her business. Her website was so confusing and her messaging was frankly very generic. And clients were not converting.
Yeah.
So what does this mean? It wasn't the logo that was the problem. It was a lack of clarity about where she stood for and who she served. So once she clarified her brand story, suddenly that logo became extremely powerful because now it had meaning. And without the meaning, it's just pretty art.
Yeah.
So for those listening right now, this is part of the Spark process. Grab a piece of paper and write this. My brand is not my logo. My
Mhm.
logo is a reflection of my brand.
Mhm.
So that's the first myth. So that kind of relates to the Spark. And
Right.
then the second myth is more marketing equals more clients. This one is so sneaky because it can work for a while. You think if I
Mhm.
just post more, send more emails, go live every day, I'll get more clients. And at first, you might actually do, because
Yeah.
sheer energy and visibility do attract attention. But eventually, you will stop getting the results you want.
Yeah.
Eventually, you'll actually be exhausted.
Right.
You'll be the one that's posting 3 times a day on Instagram, 2 times on LinkedIn, and sending a weekly newsletter and screaming into that void like everybody else is.
Yep.
The problem won't be your effort. It will be the message that you're sending is not clear. So marketing is going to amplify whatever is there. And if there's static or confusion or vagueness, and you're trying to be all these places, it's just going to spread that confusion faster.
Mhm.
So no, 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 marketing does not equal more clients, but clear branding equals more clients. And marketing just delivers the clarity to get more clients. So ask yourself, am I doing more or am I doing clear?
Mhm.
And if you're doing more, what can you stop doing to be more clear?
Right.
Myth number 3 is you have to be everywhere. So I will raise my hand here and say this almost took me out in my business because I'm a marketer and I should be on every tool and know every tool and all the things. And I was spinning my wheels. Let me tell you, like I burned out. I was busy on
Mhm.
Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, all the places, but I was not effective. Absolutely
Yeah.
not. And I see the same thing with our clients. One of the small business owners we worked with, she was spread across, I think it was 5 or 6 platforms when she came to us. And she was actually ready to quit her business.
Mhm.
Like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. So we sat down and asked, where are your dream clients actually spending time? And it was really a no-brainer. It was LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So we gave her permission, because sometimes you need permission, Stacy, to cut
Yeah.
everything else. And she focused on that one channel with one clear message and one clear, all of her branding was very clear. And within 3 months, she had doubled her revenue.
Mm-hmm.
Not by doing more, but by focusing where it mattered. So you do not need to be everywhere. You just need to be in the right place with the right clarity every time. So if you're listening, write down all the platforms you're on right now and put a star next to the one where your best clients actually hang out. And what would you shift if you focused solely there and do that? So really, when you talk about the spark and ignite and the blaze and the boost, spark is where you start. It's the who you are, the essence of who you are, why you want to do what you want to do, the transformation you offer, to who you can best help. Who do you have a record of helping the best? Who's the most profitable that you help? And why should it matter to them? How does it relate to their fears and their aspirations? How does it actually help them survive this crazy world that we're in? That's like the possibilities of your brand. And then the ignite is making sure all your visuals, your messaging, your voice, everything aligns to this spark. And then the blaze is doing it consistently, persistently, showing up, saying it over and over again, almost to the point you get bored with it, to be honest. And then the boost is how do you automate it and systemize it so you can scale? Ultimately, the hidden cost of your unclear branding is going to be you waste money on ads and websites that don't convert. You waste time creating content that no one engages with. You waste energy second guessing who you are. This is huge, Stacey. We begin to think that we're like not okay. And worst of all, you lose the joy that made you start the business in the first place. So many of the clients that we've worked with have thought about shutting their doors, and not because they weren't talented or they didn't have skill sets, but because they were simply exhausted and burnt out. We say overwhelmed, overworked, and over it. One consultant told me, I love my work, but I hate my business. Does that sound familiar? But once we worked with her brand, she got really clear, she fell back in love with it. That's the transformation that real good branding can bring for you. So where are you spending the most time or money in marketing that isn't producing results?
Right.
That's the question to ask yourself. When branding clicks, everything changes for you. You no longer have to over-explain your value. Dream clients find you and say, I feel like you're in my head. Your referrals will multiply because your clients can finally describe you clearly to their friends that you have the medicine to help them. And you stop hustling for leads, and instead they come to you warmed up. It's a dream situation, right, Stacey? Like we all want that. And beyond business, it gives you your life back.
Yes.
I can tell you that once I got clear in my business and I wasn't burnt out and exhausted, I was a much better wife and a mother and friend and daughter in my personal life. One of our clients said recently that it feels as if that her brand is carrying her now instead of her dragging it uphill. That's what really good branding and alignment does. It gives you freedom and confidence and space to create again. So if your brand clarity could give you back 10 hours this week, how would you use that time?
Exactly.
How would you use that time? Gosh, I can think of a lot of things I could do. Like I'm writing a book right now. I'm on a podcast with you. Like there's lots of fun things that I can do with that time. I can actually work out every day if I want to. There's I can read a book that I want to read. It gives you so much freedom and peace. So if you're wondering, where am I on this big brand magic path of spark, ignite, blaze, and boost? Are you missing your spark? Do you need to ignite that spark? Or are you ready to really bring it to life and blaze it? I have a really simple quiz. It's about 3 minutes to take it. That kind of shows you where you're at in the process. If you go to wickedlybranded.com/quiz, you'll be able to take it and it'll give you a few action steps to get started today to help you maybe focus a little bit more on what's going to work for you and what you can stop doing that might be exhausting you right now.
Right. I love that. Now, can you tell everybody about the services that you provide on your website and all the different things that you do?
So our services kind of lead right through this and brand magic path. We have the brand spark, which is a 90-minute deep dive. We actually call ourselves a bit of a marketing therapist. We spend a lot of time with you. We get to understand where you are in your business, where you've been, where you are, where you want to go, the challenges that you're experiencing. And we help you kind of find those golden threads of your brand and then help you have like a good strategy for the next best 4 to 6 opportunities for your business
Mhm.
to take to get you closer to your goals. And that's our brand spark experience. And then our brand ignite is where we build your website. We help you with your social media profiles. We'll help you with your branding, refresh, or create a whole new brand. We really bring that vision to life in a really cool way, very intensively, which is exciting, and very collaboratively. And then in the brand blaze is where we do some ongoing really marketing for you. So we'll help you with your, daily social media posts, your weekly newsletters. If you want help with writing your blog posts, we can do all that for you. And then we also have our brand bot boost, which is some automation, some AI chat, custom chat bots, and Canva templates and all kinds of things to make it as easy as possible for you to continue to do some DIY stuff for yourself as well. So a little bit of everything, but in a really strategic way. Everybody who comes to work with us has to start with a spark. We want to get to know you first. We want to understand, get that foundation really clear. So as we build it, it's simpler, easier, and it resonates better with the people you want to serve.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I've got to say, I've known you for quite some time now, and you are just amazing. Your insight is outside the box. And I feel like, you're very well, when it comes to branding and marketing, you know your stuff. And I've told many people and I've referred many people to you because you are very good at what you do.
Thank
And you're very welcome. And I gotta say, I love how you not only you explain and show people step by step, how to improve their business, but you're so compassionate about it and you have so much compassionate towards others. And I really respect you as a person and I respect what you do. And I have to say that I really, I think you're an amazing woman and you have come a long way and you have done a lot in this time. And I just want to say thank you just for being you and for everything that you do. I've seen you
you.
help
Make
so
me
many
cry,
people.
Stacy.
No, but I've seen the work you do and I've seen the improvements in others and you bring hope into their life and then you give them direction and then you actually give them a new path and that's so important, just a few tweaks, here and there can make such a big difference and people don't realize that, but you don't have to make a huge constructive change. Little tweaks here and there can make all the difference.
Yeah. And I think that my compassion really stems from, Stacy, I've been in their shoes. Like I felt that way. I felt overwhelmed, overworked, and over it. I've almost shut my doors. I've tried the competition trap. I've had imposter syndrome. I've been recovering perfectionist. I've lived
Yeah,
messy middle. Like I have been in their shoes, and
yeah,
they're not wrong. They're not bad people doing these things. It's just like you said, a little adjustment in the direction of their business, a little more clarity. And it's like, those power boosts you get in like video games. It's like a power boost that they get. And then they're just running down the thing and they're able to get all, they're almost impervious to all the bad things because they have got the power boost. So
yeah.
I love that work matters so much to me because I want women to be successful, men too. I want women to have an impact on the world. I think we need more people out there doing good things, especially now. And
Yes.
I want to be a magnifier of that good. So
Mm.
I want to do that. So I'm so glad that you see that in me. That makes me feel very proud of the work we do. So thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show today. I can't wait to, I can't wait to see you again. And I got to say, everybody, if you haven't seen Beverly's previous podcasts, you have to go on her channel. She has her own podcast channel. She has amazing advice in all her channels. She is ranked the two percentile globally on her podcast worldwide. She's amazing. People have, and I got to tell you, she says she focuses on women, but I get so many emails asking for Beverly and where can I find Beverly? And many of them are men also. And because her advice is so good and she clarifies that so clearly and she shows you so clearly on her podcast. So if you're struggling in anywhere in marketing or branding, I suggest that you look at her other previous podcasts because they will help you tremendously. They're amazing topics with amazing advice. So once again, thank you so much, Beverly, for being on the show, and I look forward to talking to you again.
Thank you so much, Stacy. I love our chats always.
Always, always. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
Bye bye.